Shut up and sit down.
Good evening, everyone! Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants, and of course I am your host, Mr. Main Event himself, the often imitated, never duplicated Superstar 10 Vicious, and we're going to go over Raw this week was in New York, in Mecca of the wrestling world, Madison Square Garden, and I don't care what anyone says. You can make the argument, the Garden's only called Mecca because it's a WWE place, blah, 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 blah. Dude, I guarantee if Billy Corgan in NWA, or if Tony Khan in AEW, or even if frickin' Burt Lauderdale in GCW was able to put on a show in the Garden, I guarantee people would be calling it that. The reason why it's Mecca more than anything is because, not so much because, well, this company performs there or that company performs there. It's because that's where wrestlers want to perform more than anything. And not only that, just the history of the building. Yeah. So, that aside, before we get into that, notes we do want to go over, did not really go over it last week, but it has been officially announced, the total package, the narcissist, however you want to refer to him, Lex Luger is going into the WWE Hall of Fame this year, and very, very, very much so well deserved. I don't care what anyone has to say about that. Now, Lex did an interview recently, and he talked about on how he went from the penthouse to the outhouse to the jailhouse to where he's at now, and it is a very, very, very good interview. You know, you don't have to be a religious person to appreciate what Lex is talking about, saying on how he's gone from where he's at to where he is now. That's just appreciation. That's the main thing, Lex, I got out of that. Highly recommend you listen to that interview when you get the chance. But that aside, Lex very much so well deserving of the Hall of Fame spot. Couldn't think of a better... I can't think of anyone else more deserving at this point in time. Honestly. So, now that we've gone over that stuff, we need to switch gears and talk about last week via the SmackDown Rewind. And the big highlights from last week's SmackDown. Before we get into the main action on the show, they showed, just like always, everyone walking into the arena. And then as they showed Damian Priest walking into the arena, they show Drew McIntyre beating the living crap out of him. And then we get back into our regularly scheduled program, which is Randy Orton coming out to the ring. He gets in the ring, addresses the crowd. First and foremost, first thing he says, wow, you know, all these years I've been here, John Cena has always been on top. But now with everything that's going on, John's on bottom. John is now the Rock's bottom. Ooh, he really said that. And then brings a whole new meaning to the term rock bottom, huh? This is why I love pro wrestling, man, because that is the only job on the planet where you can actually get paid to talk trash about your boss to the crowd and within relative lenience, not worry about getting your ass chewed out or getting fired for it. Yeah. Then he went on how, you know, he was out for a while. He had to take some time off because somebody who he thought was a good friend of his, Kevin Owens, gave him a pile driver, which is a bad move, by the way. And then, you know, just went to go and whine about on how it's, you know, it's not fair, blah, 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 blah. You know, and then talking about on how you went after Cody. Why? Because he helped Roman? Or you went after Sammy. Why? Because he gave him a helping hand at the Rumble? And then, just, Kev, dude, you're a former world champ. You've held every title in this company. You're talking about on how you haven't gotten a fair shake. Really? And I'm paraphrasing all this stuff Randy said, mind you. And then wound up talking about, I came back that night in Elimination Chamber because I saw Kevin Owens getting ready to give Sami Zayn a career-ending pile driver on the concrete. So I came out and I RKO'd that bastard. And then after that, I started getting this funny feeling. Started hearing the voices again. They told me on how good it would feel to kick his head clear off his body. So I sized him up. And I was getting ready to deliver a punt. And then, getting stopped. So now I got one goal in mind. And that is to show Pat McAfee is the second greatest punter in WWE. So, if I had to guess, we're going to get Randy versus Owens at WrestleMania. I am all for that. Thank you. The other highlights from SmackDown, we had Tiffany Stratton going against Piper Niven. This came to be because of a little backstage conversation. Good match. Tiff got the win. Post-match, though, was the big takeaway where Charlotte came in out of nowhere. Chop block, popped in the figure eight. My biggest takeaway from that was Charlotte did the figure eight all while she was in her heels. She did all that while she was in her heels. You go, girl. You have got it going. Oof. Remind me not to piss her off. Next up, we had a triple threat tag team #1 contenders match. Try saying that 5 times fast. It was Motor City Machine Gun, yes boys, Pretty Deadly, and Los Garza. It was a good match. I dug it. Pretty Deadly got the win. Yes boys! The Killer Queens wound up getting the win. So, Pretty Deadly are the new #1 contenders for the tag titles. We also had Naomi finally being confronted by Bianca about the whole Elimination Chamber issue. So Bianca called out Naomi asking her, listen, I just need to know, did you do that to Jade? Did you attack her? And then Naomi trying to double talk around it. Listen, let's not do this. We don't have to do this here. And the more they kept going, and then they kept going to the point Bianca was like, enough! Now I need a straight answer right now, or I swear, I will walk and you will never see or hear from me again. Did you or did you not do that to Jade? Yes. Ooh. And then she took a page out of her father-in-law's book. I did it for you. No lie, she legit just went straight Rikishi. Instead of saying, I did it for The Rock, she did, I did it for Bianca. I did it for you. Like, what the fuck? Oh man, that was good. I'm sorry, that was just wait. The second she said, I did it for you, I've lost it, and I lost it, and I fell to the floor. Because that's all I could think is, you really just took a page out of your father-in-law's book and just ran someone over with a car. The only thing that was missing was, they needed to be bald and have a goatee. That was it. Apparently there's an unwritten rule in the women's division that they don't need to be bald and have a goatee to get run over. But either way, after she gets that, Bianca then just starts walking out. then Naomi starts pleading, please don't do this, don't do this. Oh, blah, blah, blah. And the farther she gets away to the point to where she's like, fine, you ungrateful bitch, blah, 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 all that jazz. And then you see Jade pull up and then storming in, pissed off, looking 3 different levels of pissed. And then just goes past Bianca, and Bianca's just like, go ahead. So then Jade then goes past and then beats the living hell out of Naomi. Just, oof, damn. Yeah, then we have Braun Strowman going against Solo Sikoa. This was a good Haas fight. Match came to an end when Tama Tonga pulled Solo out, broke up the pin, so Braun got the win via disqualification. Then Jacob came out, and then that's when we got the real Haas fight. And them two went at it something wicked to the point where they were outside. Strowman chokeslams Jacob Fatu through some tables on the outside, and then Jacob just gets up, blah, shakes it off, and then has to get pulled away. So it's just like, oh. Excuse me. Yeah. I am all for if we get a big Haas fight between Jacob Fatu and Braun Strowman at WrestleMania. Because you know that's going to be good. Next up, we had the Women's United States Championship match. Your Women's United States Championship, easy for me to say, defended in a street fight. Chelsea Green defending against Michin, Mia Yim, and I thought it was a good note. I thought it was a cool little side note that they mentioned that Michin wound up actually training in Philadelphia, so I thought that was cool. You know, also it was cool seeing Michin in Eagles colors. Dilly-dilly. You know, but either way, good match. This was a really good match. I loved it. This was probably my match of the night on SmackDown. Yeah, but match came to an end when, just as Michin wound up having it set up for the win, going for the pin. 1, 2. Ref gets pulled out by some mysterious woman wearing a black hoodie, which WWE needs to start doing a strict dress code for their security. Having their security doing strict dress codes for fans coming into the arena, not to have a black hoodie, or at the very least, make sure their hood stays down the entire time they're wearing it. Either way, next thing you know, Pele kick, then they come in, they could do a Pele kick, and then pull the hood down and see it's Alba Fire. Alba then comes in, does a Canadian Destroyer onto a steel chair, throws Chelsea on top, and then she gets the 1, 2, 3. So Chelsea is your winner and still WWE Women's United States Champion. So it looks like Alba Fire is now part of Chelsea's cabinet. So, cool. Then we had Cody Rhodes come out and address what happened to him at Elimination Chamber. And to basically sum it up, he said his daughter asked what happened to him because of the side of his face. He said, I hit a wall, which isn't really much of a lie because, you know, I never thought this was going to happen. I can't believe it did, this, that, and the other. And then talks about on how John, when I first won this title, John was one of the first people to greet me and he said, it only gets heavier from here. And that, well, John, after everything that happened, I am still standing. I am holding this title over my head, and it is as light now as it was the day I got it. And John, you and I are set to cross paths at WrestleMania, but if you want some, come get some. So I am all in now on John Cena, Cody Rhodes main event, night 1 or night 2 for WrestleMania. Signed, sealed. I'm all for it. I was interested before. Seeing a heel turn and then seeing Cody dusting himself off saying, "That all you got? Because I can do this all day." Now I'm all for it because now we got Peacemaker going against Homelander, main event in WrestleMania. Now, we also had Drew McIntyre going against Jimmy Uso. Drew wound up getting the win just as after he got the win, stopped, got that evil smirk of his, just as he was about to turn around to go and do something wicked. Next thing you know, boom! Damian Priest comes up, beats the living tar out of him, they get pulled apart. Biggest takeaway from that was Priest saying to him, "You wanted to start this? You're dead. You're dead. You're on notice each and every week. You're dead." So, if we get Priest and McIntyre at Mania, I'm all for that. And then we get our main event match of the night, which was Shinsuke Nakamura defending his coveted United States Championship against LA Knight. Yeah, dummy, yeah, let me talk to you. And I'll be the first to admit, Shinsuke's US title run did not go the way I expected or hoped it did. Hoped it would. I'm not going to sit here and bitch and complain like, they buried him, the title's trash, blah, blah, blah. No. Because, I don't want to waste my time complaining about that. Here's the thing. They tried. They failed. It comes with any form of entertainment. You're going to try different things, and not all of them's going to hit. Move on. That's simple. So, unfortunately, it didn't work. But this match was good. I liked it. Match came to an end with, there was mist. Went to do the mist, caught the ref by accident. And then Knight wound up doing BFT onto a chair. And then new ref came out doing 1, 2, 3. So your winner and new United States Champion, LA Knight. Yeah, dummy, yeah. And that is not an insult. That is just a fact of life. So with that said, excuse me, let's get into this week's show. Raw in the Garden. It starts out, no promos, no hype up videos. We just go straight to a match. Main event, Jey Uso, yeet, going against Greyson Waller. So, this comes out. So, this match starts with Waller. He was leading right up into the commercial break. Jey wound up building up a comeback post-commercial break. I dug it. It was cool. And it's, I don't know on how else to put it, but I'm going to just say it like this. You got to keep them busy and you got to keep them loose and limber for Mania. So, yeah, if you're going to complain saying, oh, they're giving these guys throwaway matches until WrestleMania, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they're going to be throwaway matches. Because heaven forbid, you don't want to put somebody in a major spot where they run the risk of fucking themselves over in the match. Right? Because, it's not like somebody may have accidentally gone over the ropes and cracked their back on a casket many, many moons ago, and in doing so, potentially risked losing that whole match at Mania altogether, right? Right? Either way, it was a good match. Jey wound up getting the win, hitting the spear. Post-match, there was a fight with him, Waller, and Theory. He took out Theory and Waller. And then, out of nowhere, after that, Gunther came out. Boom! Popped him in a sleeper, choked him out, passed out. And that was it. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. That's done. Next matchup, we got Tornado Tag Team Action. The New Day going against Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. Faces, Rey and Lee, they were leading at the start with the New Day leading up into the commercial break. The LWO wound up picking up the pace post-break. Match came to an end though when some random fan wearing a American-made lucha mask, and again, black hoodie with the hood over until they pulled the hood. You know, WWE really does need to enforce something about the hoodie, about going in there wearing a solid black hoodie. You know, but this random fan was a really big Chad Gable fan, because they not only trained and built themselves to the point they had a physique mimicking Chad Gable, but they also studied, they had to have studied hours upon hours of tapes to be able to mimic Chad Gable's moveset, and did several of Gable's moves. After that, then that fan wound up running, beating feet to get the hell out of Dodge. After that fan wound up attacking the LWO. Kofi, who was just getting his bearings, shaking the cobwebs out, went over, got Woods. They scooped up Rey, got in the ring, and then hit the midnight hour on Rey Mysterio 1, 2, 3. That was it. Later on in the show, they show Kathy Kelly interviewing Chad Gable. And I like Kathy, I do. And she is a fair journalist, and she did confront Gable, questioning if it was him. Gable denied it was. Kathy, very firm on her stance, saying the guy had your physique, guy had your build, the guy wore the same outfit you're wearing right now, minus a mask. And then Gable's just showing, and then they show the camera pan and security escorting somebody out wearing an American-made lucha mask. Thank you. So, apparently, it could not have been Gable. Or could it? Either way, next match we got Raquel Rodriguez going against BBL Bayley, and the winner to get a #1 contender spot for Lyra Valkyria's coveted Intercontinental Women's Championship. And Raquel, she was leading at the start, with Bayley starting to pick up a comeback post break. It was a good match. It was a good match. I dug it. It came to an end when Dom and Liv were running interference. Dom was basically doing a looky-loo, pulling the ref over here so that way Liv can go and work over there. And Bayley wound up taking her out, taking Liv out, then took Dom out, and then went to go after Raquel, did a dive through the ropes. Raquel caught her, slammed her onto the announce table, which, on that note, folks, keep in mind, nobody has broken that table yet. And when that eventually does happen, that is going to be a huge holy shit moment. So yeah. But slammed Bayley onto the announce table. Bayley then got in barely. Raquel then caught her with a boot and then hit her with the Tejana bomb for the 1, 2, 3. So your winner and new #1 contender for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, Raquel Rodriguez. So now we come to main event match of the night. Seth Elizabeth Rollins, because his middle name is not frickin' damn it, going against Cookie Monster Punk. And this was a wow. This was a fight. This was a fight, like literally. The second Punk got into the ring, they started swinging. And Seth, he was leading up into the break, but after that, it was both guys just had a I will not die attitude. And it was, I'm not referencing this in a Marvel Captain America way, but both of them just had this look on them like, no matter what, they're going to keep fighting. It was like, is that all you got? Because, come on, I can do this all day, man. Like, yeah. Like that. Now, And it was just, whoa. I don't recall ever using this term lightly, so please make note, and if I did at some other point, please tell me when. But this was one of those moments where I really felt like a fight forever chant would have been justified. I'm just saying, because that's what I felt coming out of this. Now, match came to an end when Seth did a stomp from the middle rope onto Punk, and then he's just sitting in the corner, sitting at the turnbuckle, looking like he's gasping for air. Looking at him like, yeah, that's right, you little bitch. You sit down there and you eat that dirt. I'm gonna beat the piss out of you once I get up. And as he's doing that, next thing you know, just out of nowhere, whoa! Roman Reigns pulls him out of the ring. Excuse me. Roman Reigns pulls Seth Rollins out of the ring, so Seth technically wins via exiting the cage. Gets the crap kicked out of him by Roman, stomped the living hell out of, and then Roman literally stomped Seth, and then as he's done doing all that and he's about to go and smash Seth's head into one of the stairs, Pierce and a whole bunch of other agents pull him off like, no. He's like, okay, I'm good, I'm cool. And then he looks in the ring and he sees Paul Heyman with Punk. He's like, the fuck is this? So he gets in there and then he just starts obliterating and beating the holy hell out of Punk like he owes him money. And then just it ends with Punk beaten on the ground, Roman holding it up, acknowledge your tribal chief. So, if I had to guess, maybe a triple threat between the three for the main event for night 2 of Mania? You know? I'm just speculating because you can have night 1 be a triple threat with Roman, Punk, and Seth, and then you could have night 2 being Cody and Cena. I don't know. And that's what I love about this era of wrestling we are in right now. It is not easily predictable. It is not something that you could just see. It's not something that you could see 500 miles away. And that's what makes it so great. Now, with that said, that is it for this week's show, folks. So please, do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes when you can. Look for me on the Twitter at TimVicious. If you're listening to this on audio form, make sure you check us out. Also, we are on Spotify or wherever else you get podcasts. We are building up that audio platform. It is a new platform, so please bear with us. Thank you to contributor to the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. A little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Check out whatamaneuver.net for vicious rants apparel like what I'm wearing right here. We got t-shirts, tanks, long sleeves, women's tees, toddler tees, and baby onesies. Perfect gift for somebody you love, somebody you hate, or a gift to get, shirt to give to Goodwill so you can hold on to your stuff. Check out these cats right now on the Twitter, DSP_IV, main event _net, searching Curry Pants 3 Count Thursday, The Dryer 1986.
Shut up and sit down.
And folks, like I always tell y'all, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck yes.